All right, so I just recorded a whole video and forgot to talk about Shaq Leonard. So Shaq Leonard is visiting the Cowboys as we speak, but the Eagles' interest in him has raised because Zach Cunningham might miss some time with a hamstring injury. That's all I have to say about this. Shaq Leonard, if you want to come to a team that's gritty, ready to go, ready to win, come to the Philadelphia Eagles. But if you want that media spotlight and all that flash with the owner, go to the Cowboys. But Eagles are serious contenders. Hopefully you make the right choice by choosing the Philadelphia Eagles. This is Eagle Al, and today I will be talking about Brian Johnson. He will be a head coach in this league. Also, Dallas Goedert is pushing to play. And lastly, Deebo versus Hassan Reddick. Both teams already trash talking, and it's already Tuesday. But let's get straight into it. All right, so before we get straight into the topics, I want to say congratulations to Derek Barnett. Derek Barnett has found a new home in Houston. Houston claimed him off waivers, and best of luck to him. Best of luck to him. If any team could have picked him up off waivers, that's probably a top 5 team. Not in the NFL, but a team that could resurrect his career. The head coach is D'Amico Ryans, probably one of the best defensive coordinators in the league, or he was the best defensive coordinator in the league for sure with the 49ers. And now Derek Barnett can go to one of the best defensive coordinators to resurrect his career. So shout out to Derek Barnett. Shout out to the Houston Texans for, getting that off the books for us. And again, that's a team that's young, gritty, got a future. Hell, might even make it to the playoffs this year. And best of luck to Derek Barnett again, man. Best team that could have picked them up. I also want to talk about Frank Reich as well, just a little bit before I get into the topics. A lot of Eagles fans were saying, should we bring him in as a consultant? To me, a consultant never hurts. But we are in the middle or a little past middle of the season. So do we need a consultant right now? Possibly not. I know we did it with Vic Fangio, but I think we probably just going to ride this one out. We're a 10-1 team, and Brian Johnson is top 10 in overall offense, like in each category, at least top 10. So I don't think the Frank Reich thing is going to happen, but let's listen to what Nick Sirianni had to say about Frank Reich.
Obviously, we all know your relationship with Frank, and I guess in a 2-part question, kind of. Number one, do you plan to bring him in any kind of role? And number two, when you do add a coach in the middle of the season in general, I guess what goes into that decision to kind of change the staff a little bit on the fly?
You know what, Rube, it's obviously very early, with everything that's going on. And so I haven't even really thought about that quite yet. As far as bringing somebody in the middle of the year, what goes into that a lot of times is familiarity with the person. And so, that's what goes into that quite often is the familiarity with the coach, the relationship with the coach. But I'm not there yet. Obviously, obviously we're just finished up our evaluation of our game and just starting in on San Francisco.
As you see, not really thinking about it. Frank Reich is his mentor, his guy, but he's not really thinking about it right now. We're in the middle of the season. Again, Brian Johnson, even though he's inconsistent, but he will get his bag. So we will see. We will see what we do. But if we was going to make a move for Frank Reich, it would possibly be next year, because let's talk about Brian Johnson. Like I said, the topic, Brian Johnson looked like he's going to be a head coach. So according to Adam Schefter, he's on teams' radars already. It just happens with offensive coordinators, especially when you top 10. I'm not sure what they watching, but that's what happens. See, the thing is, with Brian Johnson, he's not going to have Jalen Hurts and the talent around him. Like, if he fall behind and say if he's the head coach of the Panthers, Bryce Young right now don't have that in him. He don't even have the weapons to come back like that. So Brian Johnson, with certain teams, is a reason why they firing their head coach. Maybe the players got them fired or they wasn't good enough. But with certain teams, you can't fall behind like that or call BS plays like that to start the game and think you're going to turn it up the second half. But again, the stats of Brian Johnson is hard to argue. Let's go over his stats a little bit. All right. So Brian Johnson, offense, points per game, third, 28.2. Yards per game is 364.3. That's ninth. Points per play is 0.21. That is fifth. Yards per play is 5.4. That's 10th. Third down conversion percentage, 47.3%. Fourth down conversions, first in the NFL. Red zone scoring, 62.79, which is fifth. And touchdowns per game is 3.3. The lowest ranking he got is 10th, and that's yards per play. All right, so Brian Johnson, he's good. He's going to be a head coach. He's going to be a one and done, especially if we make it to the Super Bowl again. Now, Sean Desai, because the rankings in certain areas are so, I could say, low, he might be back again to prove himself, but Sean Desai will be out of here within like 2 years. Sean Desai might get interviews during the offseason, but I doubt it if he's going to get signed just yet. He probably got a running back, but Brian Johnson, again, might be up out of here. All right, so let's talk about Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert is looking to make a push against the 49ers. What can I say? A freak of nature. A freak of nature. You broke your forearm, and within 3 weeks, you're ready to play contact football. That's insane to me. That is crazy. But Dallas Goedert, not even 100%. Even if you get 80% Dallas Goedert, he can still be a distraction on the field. I believe he could still contribute at 80% at a high level than most tight ends. So Dallas Goedert coming back this game will be huge. It definitely will be huge because I think AJ need him, and AJ just need that distraction. He needs somebody to bracket somebody else, because when you got two good receivers, which is nice, they all bracketing AJ Brown. Smitty is going off for sure, but we don't have the tight end that can go off. Stoll was okay, but he's not no Dallas Goedert. If you leave Dallas Goedert one-on-one and you just worried about AJ Brown, Dallas Goedert is going to cook, and he can go for 100+ yards. Smitty can go for 100+ yards, and people are taking their licks, I can say. They're like, well, I'd rather Smitty go off than AJ Brown go off. And we've been winning, so maybe the 49ers switch it up. And the 49ers secondary, to me, is lunch. It's food. Trust me, it is food. So, again, Dallas Goedert coming back this game is tremendous. And that's why they didn't put him on IR. Maybe they knew. Like 49ers, 3 games, he can come back. They didn't want to put him on IR because you technically got to wait 4 games. He would have came back against, I believe, the Giants, if that was the case, because he would have had to miss this 4-game stretch. And yeah, he would have came back that Giants, Cardinals, Giants, and he's probably like, and the doctors are probably like, look, he could come back a little early. So, again, shout out to Dallas Goedert. Look like he will come back early. Okay, so let's get into the Hassan Reddick, Deebo Samuels. The trash talking already starting. Usually I wait to talk about the opponents. I usually give about Wednesday, Thursday, but it's Tuesday, and it's like, man, this is the game. This is the game. This is the game that's going to break some records. I'm surprised they ain't try to move this to like Sunday night or Monday night, but this game again is going to break some records for a 4:00 game. Now, trash talking's already started. Hassan Reddick's like, yo, they've been talking all off season. All off season. Line that up. Line that up. But let me go ahead and play this clip.
The 49ers next. I know you just got done playing, but they did a lot of talking in the offseason about what happened in the NFC Championship game last year. How much of that has stayed in the back of your mind ahead of next week?
As this season been going on, not much. Talk is cheap. They get to come back in the link, It was a lot of boo-hoos last year, a lot of crying, a lot of what if, a lot of this, a lot of that. They get a chance to come back in here, line that up and prove it again.
As you see, Hassan Reddick is ready, man. He is ready to play these dudes because it's one thing me and all the Eagles fans like you guys bantering back and forth like, Brock Purdy or we really destroyed the 49ers, but the players are coming out talking mad junk. Yes, they talking mad junk. This is what Deebo had to say about James Bradbury.
You termed James Bradbury trash after that game last year. Do you regret that? I mean,
I don't regret nothing I said.
okay, you stand by it.
The reporter asked him, like, do you like someone want to take that back what you said? Like, nah. So James Bradbury got to be motivated this game. James Bradbury got to be motivated this game because Hassan Reddick is motivated. Hassan Reddick is motivated. So Brock Purdy, watch out. He's going to light you up, bro. This is going to be a physical game. A physical game. So this game, hopefully we come out healthy for sure. But it's going to be some hard hitting. It's going to be some drawing back and forth. Hell, A.J. Brown gave us the permission to troll Deebo Samuels. He gave us the permission to troll him. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to troll the mess out of the 49ers. We're going to troll the mess out of them. But an instant classic. A classic is on the way. We just had 2 straight classics. This might be the 3rd. We pull away with this win. Pretty much the NFC is ours because now we beat the 49ers. We beat the Cowboys. We'll be, 11-1. Then, we play Dallas again, and I'm pretty sure we want that one. And then this Cardinals-Giants stretch, and then the Seahawks, especially we knocked them off too. Another NFC game. We can just basically cruise. We could cruise, probably get rest against the Cardinals and against the Giants the second time, and just get ready for the playoffs with that number 1 seed. But let's handle our food first. But hey, man, what do you think and how do you feel about the news today? Hassan Reddick, Deebo Samuels talking they talk. Also, Frank Reich, Derek Barnett, Dallas Goedert pushing the play. But this is Eagle Owl, man.